Today is a new opportunity to accomplish your incredible. So let's wake up each day with a fresh mindset necessary for you to win. I welcome you to Rise and Shine. Morning motivation for the girl boss with author, speaker, and founder of the Prestige Society, Nicole Doss. Let's jumpstart your morning now. Hey, girl bosses. This is your girl, Nicole Doss, and welcome to Rise and Shine. I am so thankful that we get to spend another day in really working on our businesses, which are anchored in our purpose. I'm so grateful to have another opportunity to be able to just sit with you fabulous ladies and really begin to explore how we need to shift our mindsets in order to run our business. And I am so excited to be able to join you again today. I've had some time away because I've been a little bit under the weather, and then of course I've been taking care of my little one who's been under the weather. And I gotta tell you, I just was not feeling a great word to share with you all at all for the past couple of days. And I really struggled with this because it's always my intention to make sure that I provide to you content and motivation on a daily basis. But sometimes, just sometimes, you need to be able to kind of sit back and reflect and have some genuine and organic thoughts that really allow you to motivate individuals. There's nothing like, getting a particular episode and not really feeling that motivation that you may have gotten for the past two episodes because my energy isn't in it. And I never want that to be the case. So today, I have a word for you. I have an awesome topic, a great word that I want to be able to explore with you guys today. And that word is grounded. All right. So that word is grounded. So for me, when I think of being grounded in my business, when I think of, remaining grounded as a CEO, as a founder of a business, of an awesome brand, I really think of me being anchored to my purpose and operating my business by way of my purpose. For me, that's what grounded really means for me. And the reason why I wanted to explore this a little bit is because, lately I've been really trying to spend some time in increasing my social media following. And, I've been having some really great conversations with other girl bosses around, how to expand our reach organically. Of course, I can always pay for someone on Fiverr to go ahead and get me some followers, but I just want it to be organic. I want people to follow me because they actually like the content. Because when we started talking about with, a special friend of mine, why do we even spend time on social media? I told her I spend time on social media to teach. Everything that I do, it's really to teach, and teaching is important to me. It's actually, what I love to do. It's what I have my master's in, which is instructional design technology. I love helping people connect the dots. It's what I've done in most of my career as far as training and development. So teaching adults and helping adults to be able to perform, it's at the core of who I am and what I love to do. And for me, social media is just an extension of that. It's sharing gems, but gems that people can apply to be able to learn so that they can retain and apply it to their businesses. So I realized that I love to teach, but although we may use social media as the vehicle to help us with extending whatever our core mission or our core purpose is, we realize that there's also a flip side to social media that could cause you to be distracted. And when we become distracted, we begin to focus on things such as our competition. What is our competition doing? Why is this person able to make $1 million and why can't I? Why is this person seeming to thrive with 103,000 followers and I'm sitting here with my little 9,000 plus followers? And you're thinking about all this goodness that you're trying to pour into the world, and you're thinking about all these things that you're trying to do the right way. You're taking all these formulas that you may have learned from other people and you're applying them, or maybe not applying them, but trying to do the best that you can at applying them. And you're not seeing certain things really coming into fruition the way that you have envisioned it. And we in this exploration of like trying to expand our reach, I began having this conversation with my one of my business besties around the importance of really figuring out why we're doing what we're doing in the first place. And that's where the word grounded came to me to share with you on Rise and Shine. And of course, I'm going to give you tips on it, but I want to give you a little bit more insight on grounded, why you need to be grounded, and what staying grounded and anchored to your purpose can do for you as the CEO of your business. So even beyond the conversation I had yesterday with my with my business bestie, the Prestige Society has been embarking on our CEO Babe Boot Camp, which is a 5-month boot camp where we literally take the building blocks from the very beginning and we look at how you are building your business. And so the first thing we're doing is we're looking at your problem statement. And your problem statement is really identifying why does your business exist. So normally whenever you're writing a research paper, when you want to delve into a topic or dive into a topic to really conduct research on a topic, you must first identify a problem statement. When you think about it from the lens of the entrepreneur, what you're doing is you are looking at why your business exists because of the fact that your business is supposed to be a solution to a problem. So what we're going to do and or what we are doing this week is we're really taking some time to define our problem statement. We're really taking some time to define and research and find information around data around the problem that we're building these businesses to solve. And honestly, I mean, if we just talk business 101, that's really just considered business intelligence, right? So business intelligence basically is a company using data to make smart decisions about how they are going to operate. So instead of you just saying, I feel like doing this, you see that the data is showing you one thing. So then this is why you make the decision to operate this way. Believe it or not, a lot of businesses do not use business intelligence. A lot of times they don't think about the metrics or the technology necessary to gather the data to give them the information necessary. But sometimes people do. And when they use it, it allows them to really move and operate in the right space. So when I think about us as a small business who, we may not even have this conversation around business intelligence, we first need to start looking at really, why are we in business? And we have to look at it from just great old school research techniques of creating a problem statement. And I'm not going to go into how you create a problem statement, like I, created videos and lives and support mechanisms for our members of the Prestige Society. But what I am going to share with you is this. What I found out at the end of conducting the problem statement, even for myself, because I do it every year, was that there was a void of a gap as to what I was not doing with Prestige. There's a certain area that there is a certain space that girl bosses are truly failing at. And data is showing that although we have over 12.3 million women entrepreneurs, that literally 88% of those 12.3 million women entrepreneurs are making less than 6 figures with their business. And what happens is that when they are making less than 6 figures with their business, then they are not allowing the time, because they do not make the amount of money to be able to focus their energy on their purpose-driven business. So now they're stretched thin. And when you become stretched thin and you're not able to put energy, and when you're not able to put effort, and we're not able to actually execute effectively and efficiently in those purpose-driven businesses because other things are taking that energy away or that focus away, then you will begin to become frustrated when you do not see the fruits of your labor actually producing, and you give up at some point, or you only do a half-baked job of really putting forth the effort that really God has intended for you to do, because he placed that purpose in your spirit, and then you execute on that purpose. And if you're not executing in that in your full capacity, then you are really missing out on your blessing, and you are keeping others from being able to experience the blessing that you are providing through your purpose-driven business. I hope that's not too deep to the point where some of you missed it. I hope that this resonates with most of you. What ends up happening in that space is that when you are not able to give that energy and that time, then for me, as a woman who wants to support women entrepreneurs in being successful, that's a problem, right? Because if women entrepreneurs had access to resources, funding, connections, and people, and the right opportunities, then they would have the opportunity to be able to run their businesses. And it doesn't mean that now everyone in the world is going to be an entrepreneur, because everyone doesn't have that desire to be that. It just means those who are deciding to do so will be successful and effective in working in their purpose and blessing others in their tribe, which I think is a wonderful thing. So when I saw that there was this area that was missing, only data and research showed me that. But what social media was doing for me personally was that it was throwing me completely off course. So as I am in this effort of expanding my reach, as I'm in this effort of trying to reach out to more people, I began to notice that I was subconsciously comparing myself to others' efforts. I began to feel like I was not being successful. I began to ask God, why is this person doing this and I'm not? Which is, of course, like crazy talk, right? Everyone's journey is meant for them. My journey is not meant to mirror or be a replication of anyone else's journey. And I understand that. But we are human beings, and sometimes you tend to fall into that pit of asking those questions and wondering why. And then I began to have conversations, and it's so interesting how the enemy will use people that are close to you to drive doubt, or use people that are close to you to drive thoughts of just insecurity, or feeling that you're not of value, or that you are not credible. And so I began to say, gosh, I should do all these things. And one of the things was like events. I should be doing more events. I should be doing more glamorous events. I should be doing more events to draw people in. And then I realized, but yet, when I did my research on my problem statement, events were not the area that women were struggling with when it came to building their businesses successfully. Events were not the thing that was keeping the woman entrepreneur from making six figures with her brand. It was not events or glam events, or events that seem to be over the top and make you feel great while you're there, but not giving you any food or any nurturing in your mind for you to be able to take these nuggets and be able to go and do these things. And so I realized I was not being grounded or anchored to my purpose. I was being distracted and derailed, because now I was using the very tool that was supposed to help me teach to really do this counter active thing of really allowing me to be focused on what others were doing and what is the trend, and how the things that people see as trending or popular are the things that people become so I guess like taken and in awe with, that they believe that is the very thing that they need, and they miss the entire point. And for me, the point is for you to be able to have a group, for me, to have a group of women, a group of women everywhere, like a movement of women who want to build these businesses where they need to have a student mindset, right? A mindset where they're learning and they're retaining and they're applying it to their businesses so that they can move forward. And having that connection to goodness where now they're paying it forward. So they're not just keeping it for themselves, but they're also sharing it. And they're paying it forward, because we only win when we pour in and invest in other women entrepreneurs as well. So for me, that's what it's all about. And I had to stay grounded to that and anchored to my purpose. And so, because I'm not a party planner, I'm not an event kind of person. Now, does that mean that I'll never do a workshop? Absolutely not. I will always do workshops because I will teach. Does that mean I will never take part in conferences? Absolutely not. I will always find opportunities to take part in conferences, because that's an opportunity for me to teach. But teaching must always be at the forefront of whatever event that I am doing. because at the end of the day, and of course there's going to be some events where we get to connect, because connecting women is important for me as well. But what I realized is that that is not the main or the primary focus for the Prestige Society, because through that problem statement I was able to see where I lost myself and where I must get back to being grounded. So what do I need for you to do today? I need you to get back to understanding why you are in business. When you are distracted and when you become derailed and when you start looking at what others are doing and when you become envious, like you can't, first of all, you cannot be envious of the blessings that God has given to other people. Like that's crazy. And the reason why that's crazy is because there's how can I put this? There is an unlimited amount of success in this world. There is no report out there saying that there has been about 88.6% of success taken by these individuals. And if you don't hurry up and reach your goals by this time, then guess what? All of the success that is in this world will be taken. Like there's just no report that says that. Now, our level of success really goes by first defining what success means for ourselves. Success could be just being happy waking up in the morning. Success can be taking the time to help others through your business. Success can be not dreading Sundays anymore. Success can mean running a business that allows you to be able to just take care of your family and enjoy life on your own terms. Success can mean any number of things. Money is not the only determining factor to success. And if you feel that it is, I guarantee you that when you get it, you will still feel a void. So please tap into something that is so much more than just money. Yes, you need money and revenue to operate your business and to be able to do things to help others. But when that becomes your God, when money becomes the center of your focus, when that becomes the thing that you only focus on, I promise you, you will find yourselves in compromising positions. You will find yourself in a place where you still feel like it's just never enough. You will still find a lot of void in your life. So I really encourage you to find something so much more fulfilling, so much more purpose driven than just money. But what I want you to know is that when you see someone else, even if what they define as success is money, and if they're saying, oh, I made my $1,000,000 this year, you better do a hallelujah. Hallelujah, it's possible. Look at that. Someone can make $1,000,000 and running their own business. What? Let me see what this person did. And not let me see what that person did and have a pity party for one. Let me see if there's any lessons that I can learn from this person. Let me see if I can share this story with someone else to see if that can resonate with them. That's what you need to identify as success, right? And celebration of what others are accomplishing with their business and their brands. So what I challenge you to do, here's some 3 tips for staying grounded, is first, and I know this takes a while for people to get this, so as far as how not to become discouraged when you see others winning, right? If you're not there yet, if you are if the enemy is using that to really pluck at some strings of insecurities or self-doubt, then take a break. You can take a social media break. It is okay. It's good to detox every now and then, and so feel free to do just that. But what I'm going to first ask you to do, and let's do some pre-work. If your pre-work is that you need to take a little bit of a detox from social media, go right ahead. Don't make it too long. You still want to stay relevant with your business and you still want to be able to post. But you know what? Maybe you do something where you use Hootsuite or Planoly and you don't go into the social media to actually post. You just use those particular sites to automatically post for you onto your accounts. And this way, you don't have to go onto the platforms to see anything, but you can make sure that you're still posting so that you can remain relevant and active in some capacity while you take your step back. But if you have to take a step back and you need to detox, then you have to do what's good for the soul. So go ahead and take it. So that's going to be your pre-work. But when we get into the first step of staying grounded, the first thing I want you to do is I really want you to ask yourself, why are you in business? If the answer is just to make money, I'm going to need you to dig a little bit deeper. But really begin to search and ask yourself, why are you in business? Hopefully, it's leading you to a space of helping someone else, providing a service for someone else, providing content for someone else, providing a product for someone else, because someone else is experiencing a problem and they are blessed through the fruits of your labor that you're doing by way of your business. Okay? So ask yourself why you are in business. So when you start to find out why you're in business and you realize it's because of this desire to provide blank to this particular targeted demographic, I want you to ask yourself, how are you doing that today? So let's say if you are an event planner and the reason why you're in business is because you always wanted to make sure that no matter what someone's budget was, that they had the ability to experience the most elegant and extraordinary experience ever, regardless of what their budgets would allow. And I'm only using that from someone who I know who considers herself an event planner for the bride on a budget. And yes, that means they can't get the swans or the doves flying. And yes, that means that they can't get, the ice sculpture with Mr. and Mrs. But maybe that means they can get other things that will allow the experience to be just as elegant. And maybe that's why you decided to really go into business. Well, if that's the case, ask yourself, how are you doing that today? And what you'll find really shocking is that 50% of you will find that, okay, this is what I'm doing today. So what I set out to do is exactly what I am doing today. But I also guarantee you that the other 50% of you are doing something completely different because there was some type of fork in the road that told you that there was a more lucrative way for you to make money through your business, and you're choosing this more lucrative way, and it's not really aligned with why you started your business in the first place. So what do? Well, let's talk to the first people who are definitely in alignment. High five. High five, friend. I'm so excited that you are in alignment with your business and your brand. I am so excited that you are in this space where you are thriving and that you are in alignment. Congratulations. You are grounded. You are doing wonderful things. All right. Now that we got that over with, and we are not going to hate on our sisters who are in alignment, we are going to celebrate them, okay? Thank you for some anchored and grounded girl bosses. You need a business bestie who's one of those girls to help you kind of talk you through your moments when you're really frustrated. Okay, now, and for my grounded business besties, when you start to feel frustrated with your business, you come back to this podcast and listen to steps 2 and 3, and then you'll feel good. Why? Because we can lose our way at any given moment with our businesses. We are human beings. We're not perfect. So just because you're grounded today doesn't mean that a month from now or 6 months from now, you're still going to be grounded. Why? Because new opportunities are always going to be presented to you. New opportunities, a different type of service, you're going to learn something new, you're going to want to try something new. All of these things are going to be something new. So you have to always do some type of check and balance to make sure that you remain grounded and anchored in your purpose, which should be or mean that you are anchored in your core mission and vision for your business, okay? So let's move on to my other 50%. Hey, boo. Yes, you. The one who realized that what she has in mind for why she went into business in the first place and what she's working and focusing the majority of her energy on right now are two different things. Or maybe they're like related. Like it's not like exactly the same. They're not the same. They're not identical twins. They're not the same person. Maybe this thing that you are investing a lot of your energy in versus why you started this business in the first place, maybe it's a distant cousin. It's like y'all in the same family, but it's not really that close in the bloodline. That is the great way to become distracted and derailed. So here's what I want to ask you. If this new thing that you're focused on is giving you ultimate joy and making you absolutely excited, then guess what you can do? You can revisit this whole reason of why you went into business in the first place, and you can make this now your core vision and mission, and make this now the platform of what you're building all your other streams of income off of. Okay? And it's okay to be able to flex. When I first started Prestige, the Prestige brand was meant to be a consulting agency for small businesses and also mid-size companies as well. It was not meant to be a networking group. That's just what I created because as I was building the consulting agency, I wanted to be able to kind of go through this with some sisters in business who weren't necessarily someone I was going into business with. I didn't want a business partner. I wanted some business besties. And that's why I created the Prestige Network at the time. But that was never the business. Like, that wasn't the business plan. That was just my support group. I fell in love with the support group and made that the business. So you can flex. There's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that it's flexing because that new thing you're focused on is giving you this like crazy amount of joy that even if you never got paid for it, you would do it anyway. If that's not the case and you're only doing this because you think this is another way that you can make money and it's not closely related to why you went into business in the first place, then it's time for you to reevaluate what you're doing. All right, which brings us to number 2. So number 2 and 3 are only for those who are in that other 50% who are not in alignment with why they got into the business in the first place, looking at what they're doing now and spending their energy on now. So 2, I need you to analyze, why are you doing this? And if you're saying I'm doing this because the first business plan didn't work, guess what I want you to do in that analysis? I want you to ask yourself the 5 whys. Okay? What do I mean by the 5 whys? The 5 whys is, okay, so the business didn't work. So the first why is, why didn't it work? So let's just go down, I can go down, let's say, one of my failed business opportunities. What did I try to implement that didn't meet my expectation? I'll say Boss Academy didn't meet my expectation. I wanted to make, just off of that stream, I had the opportunity to make $189,000 just off of that stream if I had 3 cohorts with 18 girls in each cohort. So that was not what I experienced, and I was really upset by that. So let's explore why. So why wasn't it that, like, why didn't it work out? Because I didn't have 18 girls per cohort. Okay, so why didn't you have 18 girls per cohort? Because, and make it all internal. Do not make it external, because I was getting ready to do external by saying something else, but it's not. You have to focus internally. So my sales efforts were lacking. And being that I went through a sales course, I see exactly what I missed, and it's crazy because I teach sales all the time, and it was just as simple as I did not reach out to the number of people necessary to meet the 18 quota. And so I'm like, okay, well, why didn't you reach out? Well, I guess because I kind of got lazy. And I was just really comfortable with who we ended up getting enrolled in the system or in the program. And then I didn't continue on with the second and third cohort within the year because so here's my first one. My first why is I didn't have 18 girls. Second why is because I didn't do this. I had sales lacking efforts. The third why is I got lazy, right? So, I mean, let's just call it what it is. I got comfortable and complacent and lazy. I was happy with what we were able to get. It was better than nothing, and it was better what I had before. So I was down. I liked it. Okay. Now, 4, why didn't you pursue an additional cohort after your first one? I got tired. The first one made me absolutely exhausted. And then my 5th why is, well, why did you get tired? Because I realized that it wasn't something that I absolutely loved. I wanted to focus back on the members of the Prestige Society and teaching them. All right. So that kind of gives me really insight on why something that I tried as like this new thing really didn't work for me. And it helps me analyze like what do I need to do differently? So for me, it was going back to focusing on the Prestige Society, giving me time to kind of revamp myself or, get excited again and, really come into my own and kind of fall back in love with the Boss Academy and then not trying to do 3 cohorts because see, I was letting the money really, really get to me. And I realized even with the first cohort that I had that I couldn't even handle 18 people if I wanted to. So I decided to only do 1 cohort a year. Who cares if I can make $189,000 a year from that one stream? Like, that's being really greedy because I didn't enjoy it and it did not spark joy. But giving the time to focus on less women and to focus on less cohorts will help me find the joy again because ultimately it's anchored in what I love to do, which is teaching. So when you find that you are focusing on this thing that isn't really working that great for you, do the 5 whys. Ask yourself, well, why are you focusing on this thing? And if you're telling yourself, well, I'm going to focus on this thing because I believe it can make me money, even though I am not experiencing making money with this thing, do the 5 whys and ask yourself, why are you not making money? Ask your and just keep going down the 5 whys. Whys can even translate into what went wrong, why did it go wrong? But start doing that. That is going to help you get to the root analysis to find out 2 things. 1, should you continue on this path? And if so, what do you need to change? And 2, if you just need to leave it where it is and go back to that original thing of why you started your business in the first place, especially if that thing is the thing that sparks joy. All right? So once you have decided, you've asked yourself, why did you start your business in the first place? And then you conduct an analysis and really focus on why are you doing this new thing? This new thing, and this is only for the 50% who said that I'm not in alignment, right? So these are for the women who look at that why they got into business and what they're focusing their energy on, and they find that the 2 do not align. So if that's the case, and you find that what you get in number 1 and what you get in question number 2 are distant cousins, then I want you to do an analysis and ask yourself, well, why in the world are you doing this? So if you find that where you are today and what you're focusing on and why you first got started are not aligned, what I want you to do, guys, say it out loud so you know what you're doing. Do an analysis, and that analysis is going to be what? Asking yourself, why are you focusing on this thing? And if it's to make money, or if it was to try something new and it's not making money, or whatever the case may be, and you're experiencing some sort of frustration with this new thing, then I want you to do a further analysis of why are you focusing on this? Like, why? Why are you doing this? Why? And maybe that's the question, not why did it fail or why is it not working? Maybe it's why are you spending so much time in doing this? And if you find as you drill down your 5 whys, it's all because, well, I can make more money and I can do this, then you really need to go into number 3 and really ask yourself, if if you're at this point where, and you're at the 5 whys, and at the end of the 5 whys, you realize, I either need to continue on this road because this is something that I really want to do, but I need to tweak how I'm executing it because I really do love doing this, or, this isn't really working for me and I don't really enjoy it. I need to go back to my original thing of why I started business in the first place. Execute. Number 3 is just execute. Whatever comes out of your analysis of 5 whys, then just do that thing. If you realize that your new focus is the thing you need to really do after your analysis, then guess what? Figure out what needs to change and just execute in that space. And if you find that it's not working and you have no idea other than it was just a great idea to make money, go back to what you need to do as far as why you first started your business in the first place and execute in that space. And ask yourself, where did you go wrong with your first love and make it work? All right? All right, guys. So that is what's going to help us stay grounded and not becoming completely derailed in all of the things that we see because we see it's trending or it's this new thing that everyone else is doing because it makes money. No, find the thing that makes you happy and go for it. All right, guys, this is your girl Nicole Doss, and I hope this has blessed you. I hope this has inspired you to think differently today. Have a wonderful and awesome day. Bye, guys.